This is Season 2 of the Off-Grid Wilderness Trapline series. It documents a full trapping season from our off-grid cabin in northern Maine. This documentary series is for educational purposes only. Tune in every night for new episodes from Season 2, The Trapline.
Alright guys, good morning. It's kind of a weird one this morning. It's been spitting sleet and rain, and normally that's not too bad of a thing, but the roads have been crazy greasy because when you drive on them, it packs it down, and as soon as it packs it down, it just makes it into like the smoothest ice, and they've been crazy greasy. Then you add like, I don't know, 1/16, eighth of an inch of rain on top of it, or sleet, and kind of melt that in, and they're gonna be crazy slick. And the other thing is I lost my four-wheel drive, and figuring it out yesterday, we kind of put the nail in the coffin on the four-wheel drive, and really killed it. So ended up, we're pretty sure it's the front differential. It's toast, so we're looking into getting one of them. My mechanics up here in the Northwoods is looking for one now, whether it be a reman or a new one. What are these tracks? Oh, these are dog tracks. Had some friends stop by, Waylon and Tucker and Kenny and the family, and I forgot they had a dog here, so there's dog tracks all around the property. Otherwise I'd be like, man. But anyway, so we're on like a really weird hybrid day where I'd love to just run the snowmobile, but I'm blocked off by a lot of logging roads that are plowed. We're not allowed by law to run snowmobile on a plowed road. You can run them on any other road that's not plowed that you want. So all my traps are on roads that aren't plowed, but to get to those roads, I have to travel across. Well, I gotta run 20 plus miles of non-plowed road, and then there's like 5 to 10 miles of plowed road. And I'm not gonna run it. I know some guys just run it, but the law is the law, and I try to follow the law and lead by example. And you know, what are you gonna say if you get caught? You know, you're caught red-handed. So we got to get the snowmobile to those roads. So right now all I got up here is my big super long trailer, and I don't want to be towing that with no four-wheel drive and with glare or greasy roads. So we're gonna throw the chains on. You know, that's our best option right now, is to throw the chains on. You can go almost anywhere with two-wheel drive and chains, and then we'll hook up to the snowmobile trailer and we'll put the snowmobile inside, and we're going to trailer over to those spots. Now a lot of these traps I'm just going to pull. The trap line is getting stale. You know, if you guys are expecting a big catch or something like that, go ahead and click onto a video from earlier in the season, because this trap line isn't new. We've already caught a lot of the fur on it and it's become stale, and I took my foot off the gas on day 2 of this season just because it's crazy how efficient we've become as trappers up here, as a team. And most of my trapping partners aren't up here yet, so they're supposed to come in this week. I'd like to get a bunch of sets out today because I got one buddy coming in a couple days, and I'd love for him to have a fresh line when he does his checks. But first things first, we got to get everything else cleaned up, taken care of, and then maybe later today or tomorrow I can do some sets and put some new ones out. But I'll show you guys how to put on these chains. I don't love running chains. It's not my first option. I'd rather just click a button and have four-wheel drive, but we don't have four-wheel drive right now until we get a new differential, front-end differential. You know, chains they vibrate, they're loud, you gotta go slow, they tear up your fenders, and you gotta put them on and off, and you gotta stop and tighten them. You know, there's a lot of downside, but it beats the alternative, especially for today. So I'll throw these on, show you. With these chains, there's an inside and an outside, and there's also an up and a down. So, you know, you can put them on the wrong way. So you got your cam locks on this brand. These are great. This is the brand you want to get if you can get them. I think most Napas carry them. You got to order chains to whatever your tire size is. They cover a pretty big range of tire size, but the cam locks really help to tighten it up. So those are going to be on the outside of the tire. And then here you have a smooth side on your cross pieces. And then you have a side that's very aggressive with the sharp pieces of the chain. You want those up, not facing your tire. You want them away from your tire, and you want the smooth on your tire. Some chains just have round and round, you know, and they work, but these ones really bite and dig in. So you're going to want those up, and you're going to want your cams on the outside. So what I like to do is drape her over. If you got stuff in your fender, mud, clumps of mud, get rid of that. Alright, so you can drape that over with the sharp up and the cams out. And then although that's how, oh, we got a broken one here. Alright, so this is a broken one. Actually, it didn't break, it just came loose. So that's important that we fix that. Otherwise, that is going to be slapping. Alright, we opened up that piece that was broken. We're going to feed it back on, make sure that everything's the right way, and then that's going to go back in my link. Make sure it looks like the other ones. There we go. Close her back up so she can't come off again, because you do not want 12 inches of chain slapping around. Alright, let's try that again. And while we're here, let's inspect all the other ones. Make sure they're tight, didn't open up. Okay, we're looking good. Alright, so back to draping it over the tire for the initial mounting. And then I favor the inside, because we're going to do the inside first. So this is your outside clip, and then you got your inside. So we're going to favor that. Now that we're draped over, I'm either going to go ahead or back. I think I'm going to go ahead. Alright, so we got our chain to the back. We want to go another 3 or 4 inches ahead, and that way we'll have some slack to play with. Alright, so yeah, so now we have our inside piece is loose right here, and then your top inside piece right here. So this is your clip. You have a clip end and an open end. So we're going to clip that just as tight as we can get it on the inside, so we don't have to tighten it again down the road. And this is where I kind of favor the inside a little bit. And you got to get in there. That's the only bad part. So that's clipped on there, and now we can do the outside. So the inside loop is made, and we're going to clip the outside, and it's the same exact thing. You got your end links right here, and you got your clip right there. And to loosen these, you want the round on the outside. So make sure they're all your cam locks are yep, that's going to be the loosest. I'm going to pull ahead another couple inches. And that might make it a little easier. and after you drive a couple miles, you're gonna want to tighten them. So right now I might either go on this link or this link, but I'd love to get down to like the third link. So it's nice and tight in there. I usually have a piece of trap wire on this last link, so it's not flopping around, slapping. I just take that little piece of trap wire and wire that last link back. You know, sometimes you get as many as 3 links loose there. All right, now we take our tool. This could be, now we got our tool. This could be a flathead screwdriver if you don't have this, your tool. And we're gonna turn all these locks. And this is gonna tighten the chain even more with these cams. You want your chains as tight as possible. There we go. Now that is tight. We should be pretty good to go on that. And then to make sure, take out any other slop you got, you can run bungees across, you know, and I usually do 3 or 4 per tire, maybe 4 per tire. And that'll take a little slap away too. I just go straight across with these. There. If you got enough, you do all the way, just like that. And we'll do the other side. All right, I know it's not ideal, but you know, not having that 4-wheel drive or just taking the truck today, but you always got to figure out a way to make it work and adapt. So that's what we're doing today. We'll make it happen. All right, we're going. The going part doesn't seem to be a problem with them chains, and I got the snowmobile a little bit closer to the tongue so that adds some more weight on the tires. So we won't have a lot of problem that way, but the stopping part could be a problem today with the roads being greasy. So I'm just gonna take it easy, plan for stops, plan for hills, plan for turns on hills, stuff like that, and do as much snowmobiling as I can once we get to the areas where I can run the snowmobile. Most trappers have pulled out by now last year, and this year they're starting to pull out. I can see why, man. It's freaking tough going, and it's stressful. It is wicked stressful. Even if I had 4-wheel drive, it'd still be stressful with the way the roads are slippery, and we might get some rain tonight. Kind of in between snowmobile and track. It's a weird situation. I don't really take on a lot of stress or get too nervous, but man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous today and driving today, and it's I had a tough couple hills to get over. I didn't know if I was gonna make it or not. You don't make it with a trailer behind you, a 24-foot trailer behind you, then you got major troubles. It's not like ideal snow situation over here. There's a lot less snow than there is at home. I'm about, I think I'm only about 25 miles away right now. But I just not hitting it right now. But my other option for roads like this one is to unhook the snowmobile trailer and leave the trailer and the snowmobile outside some of these road systems and drive it with a two-wheel drive truck with the chains if they're not too bad of roads. Trying to make the best decisions. Got a staving buck track right here. Really nice buck. Walked right down through there. This is one trap I'd love to leave out for the season and see what comes through for Fisher. But with the plow situation, won't be able to get here on snowmobile without trailering, and I don't want to do that. Looks like we got activity. Nope, we don't have activity. Sorry guys, it was tilted back for that Connie pan. We have 4 boxes to pick up on this road system, and to be honest with you, if we zero today on it, I'm not going to be upset because we had a really good year here on this system. So if we make some catches, it's a bonus. But I also got to be careful, make sure I leave fur for the team next year and for other people in the future. Wow, them Belisles. You don't want to mess around with them things. We're gonna start cleaning up some lines. We've been doing that. We're having just a fantastic year. I had not planned to do this well. As you can see, right from the second day of the season, I started, well, I took my foot off the gas is the best way to put it. A couple more incredible days after that had me pumping the brakes after that because I really want to trap for Fisher, and I really want my partners to be able to come back and still have some opportunities too. So foot off the gas, pumping the brakes. One of the most important parts about today is after I pick up the traps and the boxes is that I mark them in my software, in the app on my phone. Otherwise, you can get yourself into a situation where, did I pull that one? Did I not pull that one? So I try to keep really good notes on it. And back in the day before apps and cell phones, I would use notebooks and keep really good info that way. I'll have to check our app this year to see if we popped one here or not. I can't remember if we caught anything here. We didn't catch anything here today, but we had rabbit nearby. Yeah, so I checked my app on that last trap when I was deleting it, and we had made a catch on that set already. So the first 2 sets we made a catch on, and then, oh, there's some lynx tracks. We got some deer tracks, lynx tracks, and moose tracks. We are in Maine for sure. Lynx tracks on the left, deer tracks kind of going out here, and the moose tracks went that way. On this road system, we had 4 traps, and we actually made a catch in each one of them. We had a Marten in each one, so 2 more to pick up. But I'd call that pretty efficient and highly successful for not putting out a dud on this line. Nothing. All right, last one on this. Oh man. Oh boy. Pick yourself up and try again. Ouch. That was a bad one. I don't even know what happened there. Probably won't be the last time. Let's try this walking thing again. think I just saw Marten tracks. You don't have to fall down and put your nose on the ground to look for Marten tracks, guys. There's better ways to do it. Alright, what I wanted to say was I don't love running the snowmobile on 3 inches of snow that's soft, wet, going away. But there's a hill on this road that is right ignorant that if I took the truck up it, it'd be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Looks like nothing here. Okay, so great year on this road. 4 boxes, 4 Marten. We'll take it. Yeah, I could take the truck up here, but I got that just ridiculous hill that's, let's be honest, it's dangerous. You know, and if I slide off that hill, there's like a 12-foot bank on the side, which would probably ruin my truck and end this year's trapping season. And I'd still have to pay to get the truck out and then either ride the snowmobile home or walk home, because there's not a lot of people up here right now. So it's just smarter bet sometimes to work a little harder and stay a little safer. Cost-wise, yeah, I'll probably, if I keep this up, which I don't really have to do much of that. You know, I hear the carbides grinding. I don't love it. You wear out a set of carbides, you're looking at, you know, a new set of skis, new set of carbides, anywhere from 2, 3, 4, maybe $500. But you think about ending your season rolled over in a ditch, either hurt or demolish truck, and then paying to get that truck out. You know, it's kind of just cost of doing business. Suck it up. Maybe I ought to just keep my helmet on if I'm going to fall over and hit trees. We got a decent amount on this road system. We've popped a few Marten here. What are you like? Coyote. We popped a few Marten in this set already, and the next trap we haven't caught anything. But I'm going to pull these 2 and be done with them, and then we'll be a little bit more selective on the rest of the line. So we're going to pick up these 2 traps now. Nothing here. Nice cedar swamp. This has been a really good productive trap for us. One of the first Connie pans I set this year. I'll show you guys something kind of cool that I just noticed. We had about 10 inches of snow, and it's settled down with a little bit warmer temps or rain and just settling on its own. When I walked by this, at first I just thought it was moose poop. But you get looking and you can see where a partridge had spent the night. Look at all them partridge poops. Man, that is a lot of partridge poops. They don't always, is that more? Yeah, there's more right there. So a couple partridge spent the night underneath the snow right here. You know, they don't always roost for the night in trees. You know, if it's a cold night, it's a lot warmer if they just burrow down in the snow and roost underneath the snow. And I don't know how long they stay there for that many poops. That's a lot of poops. I never really counted them, but I've certainly had them in the deep snow blow up from under my feet while I'm walking in somewhere, and it scares the poop out of you. All right, this is one we're gonna give a yank. It's actually one of the very few traps that we've set this year where we haven't had any activity and haven't caught any fur. And I'm not 100% sure why. It's something you're always trying to figure out. You know, really looked like a good spot, like some good woods. But we must have just missed the juice on the travel ways and the feeding areas, because we still haven't had anything. And yeah, I don't know. They're not all winners, but it's pretty close. Yeah, it's really good dark wood. Nice green growth, but it's down in a hole. You know, when I talked a couple episodes back about maybe sometimes you got to be careful that you're not hiding your trap from the animal too well. You know, your long range scent's only going to do so much, especially if you put it down in a hole in a green growth. You know, that's not going to get any wind at all. You better land on that animal. So that could be what happened, why we didn't get anything there. Never know, next year might be a really good kill spot. That's the fun of trapping for me. All right, we're gonna be coming back through here with some more traps. So I'm gonna set these boxes right here and pick them up on the way back through. We're not pulling everything in here because Donnie just set a couple traps in here. He set a new Fisher set right away, and then he set another Marten set, and then I set a double set with 2 cameras where there was a Fisher and a Marten. We've done very well for Marten and Weasel in here, but we haven't hit a Fisher yet. So we're gonna give it another run, you know, maybe one more rotation after this, and see what we can pick up, or see what we pick up today. All right, this is Donnie's new Fisher set that he just set out, so we haven't had a check on this yet. We're first check on it. I always like first checks. I always like last checks. I like all checks. It's looking like I'm not seeing much yet. We got nothing, and nothing around, but real good spot. We saw some Fisher tracks actually coming into this block of woods from another road, so we tried to get ahead of it. It's awful hard to get ahead of them. I don't know, maybe looking back at last year, maybe you're better off just setting right where you saw them. You know, I had some success with that last year. Getting ahead of them, they could go anywhere, unless you can really get a good look at the ground and the satellite on where they might be heading. Dripping wet. It's raining. Buy a brand new snowmobile, and they don't even put windshield wipers on it for you for the rain. It's almost like you shouldn't be out in the rain with a snowmobile. Shouldn't be raining when you're snowmobiling, maybe. All right, we're all the way in there. I think I'm gonna let this line sit for one more cycle. Kind of really excited about all the moose tracks and chewings and break-ins and rake-ins I'm seeing in here. This is really close to where I saw that giant bull a couple weeks back. I'll have to put this on my list to maybe do some shed hunting in here if I shed hunt this winter. Nothing. All right, it might be time to start getting a little bit serious on the trap line here. Show you guys a few catches. Show you that I still got it in me. And now this is that set that hasn't popped yet. And it's one of them sets as a trapper, when you make it, just kind of fall in love with it, really like it a lot for the ground that it's in. When the terrain doesn't look like much yet, but we're not gonna die with this trap. We're gonna give it one more run. If it didn't get anything today, oh, we got some activity. How about it? How about it, folks? Nice. Let's see what we got. Weasel. Nice. Oh man, that's gonna be smoked. And that savage golly, it's about in half. Holy cow. Savage hit had. But at least we're not furless for the day. We got some fur. Nice little short tail weasel. If they didn't have, oh man, he's in two. He's literally in two. Definitely a little much for a weasel, that Savage 5F. But I'd rather have a literal overkill than an underkill. You know, you owe it to these animals to be using the best, strongest traps you can. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons last year. You know, it's a little bit more money out of your pocket to buy the Belisles, but not only is it worth every penny, because you're not going to have misses like you would with the weaker traps or escapes, but you do owe it to the animals, guys, and I'll tell you that right firsthand. Spend the money. Nothing. All right, this has been a pretty good trap for us here. Moose and the deer seem to be loving it. There's so many tracks going in on top of my traps to this track. Looks like a highway. Oh, red squirrel. Looks like a super highway going in. But well, we got activity. We do have some activity, guys. Sweet. Nice. We popped a Marten here. I know we popped one here already. All right, we got a Marten. Okay. That one wasn't really expected. But we're going to take it, and we're actually going to take this box on out of here. We've done pretty good for fur in this location, on this ridge. So I'm going to pull this one out of here. Leave some fur for next year and for other people in the future. Nice orange one. Got that Savage 5F. And then I'm actually going to leave them right in the box for now, because we're taking this box on out of here. And we'll pull it out of the truck. All right, we're on the second road system. As far as this line goes, I'm good to go picking this up. I'm definitely picking up at least 4 off it today. And then the rest of it all hinges on this set right here. This is the one where we made a catch last week. And then another Marten came and stole the bait. And then a fisher was in the area hunting for that long distance call. Just never found it, I guess. Or never committed. So, man, those are fresh deer tracks. So I brought 2 trail cameras in. I brought another box in to see if we can get a double, see if we can get that other Marten, see if we can get that fisher to turn around. And I definitely want to kind of see how this pans out for the year here. Who put a box that close to my other box? Oh my word. Well, we got activity in one, not in both. So we got a camera here, we got a camera there, and we got a set there, and we got a set here. So let's see what we got into. Marten, smoked him. All right, this must have been that other Marten. Oh man, now I was hoping for that fisher. It's a pretty good sized male Marten right there, guys. So I think I'm gonna pull my trail camera cards, reset these, and then we'll give it one more check for that fisher and see if he's got enough time to turn around. All right, there's something on there. All right, looks like we got it on both cameras. It looks like there was either a weasel or squirrel there. I couldn't tell. Those screens are too dang small for me to see it. All right, a couple marten and a weasel so far. You don't want them fleas getting in my beard and in my hat. Get the itches. What the heck's been digging here? Nothing there in the trap. Coyote. Huh. What the heck? He's got that deep. Huh. No, I don't see any fur or blood. That's pretty neat though. Coyote tracks. Let's see if he came over near the trap. But of course he can't get in there. Oh, activity. We got activity. Nice. It's looking like some marten tracks in the snow. It's always nice to have some activity when you're picking up a trap. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's always nice to catch something when you're picking up a trap. Let's hope we got a catch. But I'm picking up this trap regardless. So I'm gonna do what I need to do, pick up my stuff. We're gonna open it up and see what we got. Marten, big male, nice, awesome, nice. Connie pan, Belisle, pretty awesome. What a difference it is, the confidence I have now checking traps using these Belisles as opposed to the other brands that I used last year. We're not getting cleaned out. We're not having misses. We're not having misses and then get cleaned out. We're not having animals getting out of traps. It's just, the confidence level has gone through the roof. It's made us way better trappers, way more efficient. That is a pretty one. This makes the second one on this spot and the fourth one on this road system with 2 traps. So that was super efficient. And we really don't want to catch any more than that. After you catch 2, it's kind of getting into next year's, I think. We lost a bunch more snow. So what I'm gonna do is unhook the trailer, leave the trailer and snowmobile here, because I gotta come back through here. And I'm gonna take the truck with the chains and the 2-wheel drive to get these, to check on these next set of traps. All right, just like that, we are unhooked. Gonna leave that on the side of the road. Hopefully no one needs a brand new snowmobile and a trailer worse than me. And we'll grab it on the way back through. All right, this one was just a flyer set. I threw it as a keep them honest, see if this is a travel route through here or not. Nothing on the first check. This is the second check on it. It's a leaning pole up in a kind of a flat tree, just get it off the ground. Well, from here, it's looking like activity. Definitely got activity. What are we looking at? They're spread pretty far. I think I see some orange in there. Whoa, major orange, Marten. Wow, nice big one. Sweet, that gets a fist bump. Wow, yeah, that's an awesome Marten right there. That's like my favorite color, I think. Probably hear it in my voice, but got that pale face and super light orange. Black legs, black tail, brown. Wow, nice. Nice travel way set. Keeping them honest, I guess. Kind of why I said it, like I was saying. It's not woods that everybody would set, because it's not your typical beautiful Marten woods, but man, that doesn't always matter, right? All that matters is if you can find where they're gonna go. You don't even have to know why. Sweet. Cool. That is an awesome Marten right there, guys. That's a pretty good size one for Maine too. But I'm pumped. It's almost dark, I'm tired. been a long day. It's been kind of stressful too with the traveling and the road situation, but that just brought me back to life. Put a little hop in my step. Nice one. Yeah, when I said it, I was like, well, yeah, it's in the hardwoods. Looks like it could be a travel route, but more of a moose travel route than anything. But I think you find a game trail and you'll get game on it, all game on it. All right, we're in there on this last road. 3 to check. All 3 of these have trail cameras. We made a catch on this one last time, and we're gonna make a catch on it today. Not being arrogant or cocky or anything like that. It's just we had some trail cam footage of a Marten in and out of that box about, I don't know, 20 times after we already made a catch. So the trap wasn't live, but the bait was in there, and he came and ate all the bait. So we got a trail camera here too. Well, let's see what happened. Yep, definitely have activity. Belisle. Yep, that's the one too. I knew it was a beautiful orange one because we got a lot of trail cam footage of this guy right here. Cool. Well, we might as well grab the trail camera, pick up this trap, and start our way out of here. That's 2 in this trap right here. Brand new area to me, never been here before, so we'll try to keep it good for next year. But yeah, that's a nice Marten. We're gonna have, if you guys have been following along, you saw the trail cam footage of him already going in after we've already caught the first one. And it's definitely the same one. You could tell by the coloration, size, everything. But nice Marten there. All right, we got everything out of here. That was super efficient. We made this set. I knew we found the fur pocket when we finally found it. But we got in here and made that. So far we've had 2 checks on it, and we've popped 2 Marten. So good time to pull out. Hopefully leave some for next year. The next trap's a little bit over a mile away. Oh, track right there. A little bit over a mile away, so that one, we'll see how we did. I don't believe we caught anything in that in the first check. It's looking like nothing. Yeah, nothing. Looking like nothing. Huh. Thought it was gonna be a winner. All right. Wow, am I happy to be home. Holy cow. That was not what you call a fun ride. That was miserable. Absolute stressful white knuckle. Not fun. I don't want to do that again. Towing that trailer, 4-wheel drive or not, would have been a nightmare. But there were a lot of times going up steep slopes and you got that trailer pulling behind you the opposite direction, and I was down to like 1 mile an hour. The tires were spinning pretty good till those chains would dig through all the snow and ice and finally hook up on something and keep me moving forward. Holy cow. Not good. Not good at all. But, alright. Well, we got a lot of footage to check. Got a lot to do. Gotta get the fire started, get out of these clothes. 32 degrees and raining. I hope it's just snow when it comes off cold. But who knows? It is what it is. Got to adjust. Well, I'm pretty sure these boots have finally had it. I got, I think, three, maybe 4 years out of them. You know, pretty hard use. They're like uninsulated lacrosse. They got plenty of tread left, but they're letting a little bit of water in. That's not good. That ought to do it. Then we're gonna decide what we're gonna do for dinner and start doing some editing and downloading, and I want to check some memory cards too with those catches. That'd be kind of fun.